day I'd tell her how she was gonna see her doggy at home, or the pretty pink stripe that Brian painted for her. My plan was to have a baby girl. Of course, me being me, I set that plan into action, researched everything, and told him we were making a girl. At the 24 week, we did my appointment, and she's like, okay, so we're gonna take your blood pressure again before you leave, and just make sure that it's gone down. And they were like, I'm not happy with this number. We're gonna send you to the hospital for some tests. And then it became abundantly clear that I wasn't going home that night. So every time it was like you thought you knew what you were expecting, and every time it was the rug pulled out from you again.
But that whole day we were under the impression that, Stephanie was gonna have the baby then. So it was, it was a long day, and we really didn't sleep that night before because we, were at home, and then we went to the one hospital, and they transferred us to the next in the morning. So, it was, at that point, it was, probably close to 20 hours or something of just, a lot of stress.
So I ended up developing severe preeclampsia and potentially HELP. It was right on that borderline.
At that point, I think my main concern was Stephanie, because it seemed like it was pretty serious. So I wanted to make sure she was okay, and I think that's where the doctors stood too. I mean, that was the priority. So that's when they made the decision to induce, or, to have her. She was already in the process of being induced, I guess, if I remember correctly. So, but it was like, we're gonna deliver this baby now. After they got the baby stabilized in another room, they brought me in so that I could see her, and, she was 2 pounds, and she was like, that big, really small. So that was pretty crazy. She was like in a little plastic bag. So at that point, things looked pretty good. She came out and she did what they wanted her to do, and Stephanie was good. The operation was fine. So it was still scary because it was 28 weeks and you don't know what the heck to expect, going forward, but it seemed like everything was going okay.
Kennedy was intubated. She was given surfactant. She was placed on a mechanical ventilator, a ventilator specifically designed to support very premature neonates. Kennedy, with repeated doses of surfactant, did well. And as every mother and father will tell you in the NICU, every success you enjoy while you have it, because another obstacle may be just a calendar's day away.
And a few days later, she developed a serious lung condition called PIE, which is pulmonary interstitial emphysema.
Kennedy's care at that time really required minute-to-minute, hour-to-hour evaluation and changes in her ventilator strategies.
There were times where I said, is this baby gonna go home? And the doctor looked right at me and said, I can't tell you this baby's going home, which is horrifying. And there's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do.
Yeah, so we didn't even get to hold her until she was pretty much 4 weeks old.
Every day felt like 5 years.
Every day we're thinking that she's gonna go home today, or she might go home in 2 days.
And then they said it and we were like,
huh?
We're like, oh my God,
Are
how
you
do we put her in
sure?
the car seat? What? Are you coming with me? The March of Dimes also funds amazing research. And in Kennedy's case, that was particularly beneficial because she had multiple doses of surfactant, which is an artificial thing that mimics a real liquid that they have in their lungs that helps it stay expanded. So that was super important for her with her lung issue.
Their commitment to the prevention of prematurity, the care of prematurely born neonates, and the outcomes of prematurely born neonates is unshakable.
Happy birthday to you. I get to hold this baby. I get to hug her. Like, that's just the best thing in the world. Sometimes she lays next to us now because she's older, and I can hear her breathing, and just hearing her lungs work, I'm like, oh my God, like, whoa, this girl's amazing. And then after really researching and finding all the statistics and finding out how small of a chance she had at living, she's just a superhuman. Like, I cannot think of anybody in my personal life or anybody even in, a public figure that I can think of that has more warrior strength than that girl. She's overcome so much, it's mind-blowing.